All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Computer Applications. We're going to be taking a look at Lesson 9 here, dealing with tab stops. Tab stops are by far one of the most powerful things that we can do inside a word processor, and one of the things that so many people struggle with when they take computer applications. It blows my mind sometimes, but we're going to try to jump into it, and hopefully we can break it down so that it's a little bit easier for you. Tab stops work by leveraging the tab key on the keyboard, right? So you know that by default, it'll indent your paragraphs, for example, by half an inch, right? That's the standard for paragraph indentation. Works out really well for us. But if you're going to create just a table of words, you don't want to use the table feature. That's going to be too messy. You just need to type things out. What most students do is they hit a combination of the tab key and the space bar. And let me tell you, nothing drives me more bananas than having to grade a project that looks like this with white space. So enter the new champion, tab stops. If you come up here to the ruler and you simply left click on it, you'll notice that there are these things called the left, center, and right tab stop. What they do is they align your text with wherever you put the tab stop. Doesn't make a lot of sense right now. Let me explain. So we came up here to 1 inch. We left clicked. We're going to add a left tab stop. Notice what happens. We hit the tab key on the keyboard. No longer does it stop at half an inch like we looked at just previously, but now we have it lined up on the 1 inch mark. Right? The left tab stop lines up on the left hand side of the left tab stop. Super quick and easy. Now, in addition, we also have the center tab stop. The center tab stop, we're going to put it there at the number 3. You'll notice what it does is it centers the text on the tab stop. And at the same time, right, we also have the right tab stop, which hitting the tab key again, we now have text lined up on the right-hand side of the tab stop. Now, normally when you're working with an assignment, you're going to see it set up in this manner, right? Having a left, a center, and a right, but it doesn't have to be that way. For example, I can add in another right tab stop here, and you'll notice, oh, my text just shifted. What happened? Well, remember, these tab stops are based off of the tab key. So if I hit the tab key here, notice my text is now lined up again, right? On the right tab stop, that center tab stop. But now we have this other tab stop here that we can type in new stuff, right? And again, because it's a right tab stop, all of the text is lined up on the right-hand side of where the tab stop is at. Now, with that being said, if you hit the Enter key, you'll notice all of these tabs are in the same spot. So it allows for you to center up all of your, or align rather, all of your text as you go down the page. Now, it's important that you set your tab stops first, because I'm here to tell you if you do something like this and you type in new line of text, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I actually want to add more tab stops, and you try to do, let's see, something like this, right? And we want to change this, and it's something different, and then you go and do this, and you highlight your rows. Notice all the tab stops disappeared. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, the reason that it's set up like that is because tab stops take a lot of processing on Google's end to work out. So in order to make modifications to tab stops and adding tab stops after the fact, you need to make sure that everything is the same between them. With that being said, though, one of the cool things that can happen, you'll notice I deleted that row where I made everything change here. We're going to add another new line, another center line. Let's say as you're going through a project, you decide, oh, wait a minute, I don't actually want to have my text lined up on the 2. I'd rather have it lined up, let's say 1.5. If you highlight all of your text, you can actually click and drag this tab stop. And so now no longer is it lined up on the 2-inch mark, right, but it's lined up on 1.5. Now you need to be a little bit careful, because if you push your tab stop into another tab stop, it can give you some kind of funky behavior sometimes, and your text will kind of bounce all over the place. But tab stops will make sure that everything lines up exactly where you put it, assuming that you set up your document first. So set yourself up for success, and it should be really quick and easy. In addition, again, just as a refresher, right, you've got your fonts, font sizes. We've looked at those before. You have your line spacing tool here. So you'll be able to add some double spacing when you're working on the project. And really, that's all there is to this project. So make sure that you use the ruler and add in your tab stops. If you decide that you don't want a tab stop, click on it, drag it off. Just click and drag it off the ruler, click, drag down, it's gone, right? You'll notice though that my text is moving. Why is my text moving? Well, remember, I have a whole bunch of tab key presses in here, right? So make sure that when you're removing things that you pay attention to the tab key presses and where things are at. But that's all we have for today. So you're going to want to go ahead and get started with that.